Bluff City Media presents the No Bluffing podcast. Stepping up to the microphone are your hosts, Christian Ingram and Evan Hayes. Now, let's get to the show.
Grizz Nation, what's going on? I am Chris Ingram.
And I'm Evan Hayes.
And this is the No Bluffin podcast where we keep it all the way real, all the way raw, and all the way honest about everything Grizzlies. Glad to be back for another episode, man. Got a lot to talk about today. A lot is going on, man. A whole bunch is going on in the NBA and definitely in Grizzly, the Grizzly world, I should say, in the last week or so. So got a lot to catch up on, man. But before we do that, make sure y'all give us a follow on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call that, at our handles below. Definitely got some good stuff going on over there, as well as the main pod page that I cannot find. There we go, right there at the No Bluffin Pod. We'd be glad to chop it up with you over there as well. But before we get into all these topics today, we're gonna try our best to get it. We're gonna try to get an episode in under an hour. Y'all gonna hold us to it? Cool. All right. Well, we gonna try, but they get off the rail, so we could be an hour 30, and we knee deep into some conversation. But anyway, Evan, before we get into all that, man, how was your week? Tell me something good. Give me some good news.
Man, it was a cool little week. Just working, chopping that tree. Nothing crazy. I finally got my cap and gown, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I got that. They had like a little early special going on in school where we could buy our cap and gown on a discount. So, I got that. So that was pretty cool. But, just another week, man. I'm trying to set up to take some graduation pictures in a few weeks. So that'll be kind of cool. But, yeah, bro, just a chill little week, I'm glad the whole October is over because now I'm in the stretch run of my senior year now. November is my last full month of undergraduate life. So glad October is over, and I'm glad just God gave me another week to put breath in my body, so I can't complain too much. But what about you? How was your week, Chris? How you and the fam doing?
Man, we good over here, bro. We good. I got what feel like a little weather changing bug trying to get me, but yeah. I'm gonna get all the elderberry, all the herbs, and all that I can put together tonight. Try to get some good rest tonight. Yeah, and see how we feeling tomorrow, man. But I got a question for you with your cap and gown, bro. Did you try yours on? Did you make sure it fit?
Nah, it's actually sitting in the package right here. I don't want to touch it yet because I don't. Yeah. If it doesn't fit, I don't want to be disappointed and mad a month away from graduation. So
I got mine early before high school, and mine was like extra big, bro. Like it was terrible. So
it was a dress.
Yeah. Luckily, I was able to get it swapped out at the very last minute, bro. But I was like, yeah, this ain't gonna work, bro. I'm sorry.
This ain't it.
You
can't be taking the pics with a size 35 dress on.
Absolutely not. Nah,
that ain't gonna work.
Nah, no Medea over here. I'm cool. Tyler Perry, you have to get me do something else, my guy.
I know Mama Parker Ingram would have been mad if you was walking across that stage with the big dress on and everybody else was fitted. They would have been hot.
Like, what's up with this, man? Bro? What you got going, man?
Man, trying to tell us something?
No. None of that. But yeah, man, definitely an exciting week. I got a surprising follow on Twitter. This was just weird, but anyway, we'll talk about that later. Yeah, man. So a lot of stuff going on in the NBA sphere, the Grizzly sphere, and I'm excited to talk about it, man. We went over. I think we had one episode of the grind season after I was with me and Anthony saying, but we didn't get to go into everything that's popped off in this week just because it get late, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but so I'm definitely excited to chop it up with you, Evan, on those different topics. But we're gonna just jump right into it, man. We ain't gonna play with y'all today. We're gonna be in and out like a robber. We gonna rob you blind. You ain't even know what happened.
Official episode. We got.
We're gonna be on our J Huff shit today. How about this? J Huff.
20 points in 14 minutes. Efficient. Real efficient.
53% or something from the field.
Shooting percentage, some shit like that.
That man is wilding right now, man. So yeah, I don't know. Can you hear the background music? I don't know why mine is. All right,
if you turn up in the headphones, if JC said turn up in the headphones, we good.
All right, cool. If Evan can hear and y'all can hear, That's all that matters. Screw me. It don't matter if I can hear it or not. We'll make it work. So we're gonna jump right into it, man. Number one, I don't know what the hell is going on in Milwaukee, Evan. I don't know if you got the antidote to fix what they have going on up there yourself. But them guys, man, it's a sad thing to see. For those that don't know, former champions, the Milwaukee Bucks, right now currently have started the season, I want to say 1-5. I don't have the numbers, but that record that they have under Doc Rivers since he took over for Adrian Griffin, for whatever the reason may be, it is a very bad losing record. And they were at the top of the East at the time that they fired him. So take that with as you may. They do not have the most heralded player in the NBA, the nastiest on the roster, as he is nursing an injury, a year ending injury. But it's been reports out there that they want to bring him back just for his locker room presence. We all know that's to appease Giannis. It's reports of Giannis potentially asking out, forcing his way out. It's reports, or even I want to say not even reports, just conversation coming from them two guys in Giannis and Damian Lillard, just talking about how they don't really have much chemistry on or off the court. They don't play, they don't play as well as you would think on the court, and they don't really spend too much time off of it. It's just a weird situation in Milwaukee, bro. So talk about that just from your viewpoint, what you're seeing from one of, what should be one of the best teams in the NBA, and they looking like one of the worst teams in the NBA. It's just the weirdest thing in the world, bro. What you got on Milwaukee? What's going on up there?
Well, you put up the stat, and I was able to find the Bucks are 20-28 under Doc Rivers since he was hired, including the playoffs, and they currently are 15th in the Eastern Conference with a 1-5 record. But everyone keeps talking about how the team, like Giannis and Dame, isn't fitting the wheels together. But I don't think that's the case for it. I just think it's a result of not great coaching and not having a great roster outside of Dame and Giannis. Like Chris Middleton has been back, which is a great deficit for him. I don't think they're just holistically a good team. Like you go down the roster, Brook Lopez past his prime, Gary Trent Jr. has not been playing the way he has. They're asking a lot from Bobby Portis, who isn't a number 3, and they're asking him to be a number 3 right now. Mm-hmm. Turner and Prince is getting a lot of minutes they probably shouldn't be getting. Like I just don't think they're a good roster. Like especially without Chris Middleton, I don't think they're asking Giannis and Dame to do so much. And not saying they aren't good to do that, but their roster isn't good enough to make up the difference that they don't have. So
right.
Am I surprised they're 1-5? Yes, I am. But am I surprised that they're not as great as the team as people thought they would be? No, because Doc Rivers has not been. Doc Rivers is a championship merchant. He's been merchant off that 2008 championship for the past 16
since
years.
Then.
Since 2008. So
that's pitiful,
I've never thought Doc Rivers has been a good coach, especially after he left Boston, and Giannis and Dame aren't that great to carry a roster they have without Chris Middleton. So I'm not that surprised. Like, yes, I thought they'd be better, yes, because sometimes you have 2 guys that can carry the rest of your team. But the history of the NBA now is you need at least 3 guys, at least. Mm-hmm. The days of just having 2 guys that can carry your roster are long and gone. You need at least 3 guys that can drive you. You need to have at least 3 horses. And they don't got 3 horses right now. So if you don't got 3 horses, you're not going to compete. All the great teams in the league right now got 3 horses. And unfortunately, Milwaukee don't got one of them. So I ain't that surprised. I hope Giannis stays in Milwaukee just to have another small market team have a big star coming from small market fans that have a big star. So I feel like it's good for him to stay in Milwaukee. But if I heard reports that he wants to go to Miami or Brooklyn. I really want to understand Brooklyn because Brooklyn's a dumpster fire right now. So I don't understand that one. But I get Miami. Giannis in Miami would be nice, but I feel like every big free agent or star is rumored to go to Miami and they never go there. So, hey, what can you do about it, bro? So, hope they figure it out. Just as a fan of Giannis and a fan of Dame, I hope they figure it out. But with Doc Rivers at the helm, I'm not too confident they'll do anything of note, honestly, for the rest of the year. They'll be a play-in team for sure. Yeah,
you got me laughing because when you brought up the Brooklyn thing, I don't get that either. I understand, like, every time that a big star makes a move, it don't have to be to a perfect situation at that moment. Because obviously, if Giannis decided to go to Brooklyn, it's going to be other players that are, free agents that may want to sign. they may request the trade to go there. So that roster can change immediately, you know, a la Phoenix Suns, a la
the Brooklyn
Nets when when KD and Kyrie went. But what was funny is I just can't see any superstar, you know, really any, I'm gonna say all-star level caliber player wanting and itching to go to Brooklyn to play up on the Joe side, and that it just looks like a terrible organization from top to bottom.
It's a dumpster fire, bro.
Like take the roster out of it. Just the organization is just nasty, bro. So we'll see. My boy or our guy Anthony saying, he says to watch out Memphis being one of those teams. I see it and I don't, because Giannis he's a small town guy. Like, he don't care to go to LA. He don't care to go to a big market. So him being in Memphis don't strike me as a impossibility. Yeah. It would just have to, for me, it's more of a fit basketball wise, and him and Ja, you know, driving the lanes. We will see. We'll see. You would think Dane would be a perfect backcourt partner for him, and that ain't working. So, you know. Yeah. I just leave it at that.
No, like, I see that they're playing like as individuals. They're putting up great numbers. Like the last game they lost against the Cavs, Dame had 30 and Giannis had 40. Like, they're playing great individually. They're playing as individuals.
Your turn, my turn.
Yeah, exactly. They're not playing as a tandem. That's part of the reason why they aren't looking as good as they should, because it's like, okay, bet Giannis, you get the rebound, you go, and then Dame be he dribble the shot clock out, step back. They're not playing as a duo. They're not playing together. So when you have two superstars playing as individuals, plus a not great roster behind them, plus a terrible coach. And yes, I think Doc Rivers is a terrible coach. I don't care what anyone says. It's not a good recipe for success. So am I surprised they're 1-5? Yes, but am I surprised they're not that great? No.
Yeah. That's a terrible situation, man. The East is going to be somewhat of a toss-up. We're going to see. Next topic we got, man, is nasty journalism in sports. When I sent this one over to you, I had one in mind, but as I sent it, I just wanted to kind of not really twist it into a specific incident, but more so just the overall culture of sports journalism right now, where it is. If y'all didn't know, the league is investigating a situation where Joel Embiid, ironically enough, after the Grizzlies beat them over the weekend in Philadelphia, where Joel Embiid actually got a slightly physical with a reporter in the locker room. And the reason for the altercation was apparently, I can't say apparently because I saw the article, the columnist, the writer, the whoever you want to call him, in his work, he was talking about how Joel, you know, talked about him, you know, naming his son. I really don't even want to get into specific. Basically, he brought up Joel's son and his now deceased brother, and tried to twist it into a basically like, you know, you ain't loving the game too much. You ain't doing too great if you're using that as your, you know, your reason why you go hard. And rightly so, Embiid checked him. And he's lucky it didn't go further than that, because it's just nasty, bro. So I want to kind of just get your opinion, you know, like I said, not specifically about that situation, but just the landscape of what you kind of seen, how journalism is more so narrative driven. It's, you know, it's not more so about what's going on the court or the field or the ice. It's more so about how can I push this narrative? How can I throw smut on this person's name personally? What's your thoughts on that? Because I got another situation I kind of want to bring up that's close to home, but before we get there, just kind of your thoughts on that, because I know that's a lane that you're going in, you know, when you know that's what you want to be a profession. So I want to kind of get your take on that, because it can kind of affect you, you know, depending on how you look at it.
And that's the reason a story like this is one of the reasons why I wanted to go into sports journalism, because I've seen, at least from my childhood, I feel like the sports media and sports journalism has gone to a way where they're pushing narratives and they're pushing for clicks instead of actually telling the story of what's actually going on in these players' lives on the court or off the court. And they don't really care about the players anymore. Like, hopefully, if God blesses me to get to the platform I want to get at, or I think I should get at if I work hard enough for it, I want to give players a platform where they can be themselves. I have a one-on-one mutualistic relationship with the players. Help me out, I help the players out, and we can have a monogamous relationship. Not monogamous, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't know what word I'm trying to say.
Long as you ain't say menage a trois, my boy.
I wasn't trying to say. was trying to say something that we help each other, basically. Like
I got you. Mutually beneficial.
Yeah, mutually beneficial relationship. I don't know where I was going with that, but you know, we help each other, and I don't want to see. When I get to that point, I don't want the players to see me as an enemy. I want them to see me as an asset. So I feel over the past like 10, 15 years, it's been switched where like the players are really despising the media. They don't want to talk to the media because they feel like they say any little thing, they're gonna twist it. They think anything happened in their personal life, they're gonna use that into a story. Like I think that's not the point of journalism. The point of journalism is to tell stories and connect people. That's why. That's one reason I want to go into journalism, go into the media in general. I want to connect people with my voice, with my writing, with whatever. This is an example of doing the exact opposite of that. Using a guy that's been through a lot in his personal life and his on the court life, and turn that into a negative on why he potentially isn't playing, or using that reason why he isn't playing. That's just low. Like, forget as a journalist. That's just low as a man. That's just low as respect.
A human being, bro.
Like human being, like Joel Embiid, like he goes to sleep just like everybody else. Like he's still a person in the day. Like if I knew something about Chris and I said I use that on the platform, that's not good. Forget us being media members. Me saying something bad about Chris that's not what you're supposed to do. It's just a person-to-person thing. So it's I hate to see it. As you said, rightfully so, Joel Embiid should have checked him. I feel like any respectable person in that situation would have checked him.
Right.
Probably, as you said, it's probably better he didn't put his hands on him for real. Didn't throw hands on him. Because that could have got ugly. Could have got ugly very fast. Because I don't know what the dude looks like, but I'm assuming he is not over 6 foot and probably not over 200 pounds. So Joel Embiid, or maybe
so, could be over 300 pounds.
You never know. But
just got done eating a hot dog. Hands wasn't even clean, and he's sitting there writing nasty articles about
away. Like, you just hate to see it, man. And hopefully, the new generation of guys my age and younger see these type of steps of what not to do, and we can hopefully change the stigma that comes with media members. So, I hate to see it, bro. And hopefully, Joel Embiid gets. Hopefully, they investigate him and hopefully take his. I want to take a job, but take maybe his access to the locker room. I feel like some punishment should be dealt. Like maybe he didn't have credentials to the game anymore. Like something like that needs to be dealt for someone that's gonna dig that low for, especially in the Philadelphia market, your star player. Because I would think Joel Embiid's probably the biggest star in Philadelphia probably. Like I'm not big on baseball, but I don't think Jalen Hurts is bigger than him in Philadelphia. Maybe Saquon. Like Joel Embiid,
he's been there long enough. He's been there, so
like Joel Embiid's the biggest star in your city. So if you're taking a shot at the city, that's like one of us taking a shot at Ja. Like, why would we do that? It doesn't make sense. So
wow, what a segue, bro. Dang, you threw that. He threw that jump up. That's crazy.
I had to do it. But yeah, I'm gonna let you get into the next one. But anyway, something needs to be done for the media members that take shots at these players inappropriately. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, we had a slight situation in Memphis. I'm not gonna say that a media member took a shot at one of our star players, but the way that something got reported definitely was not in the best of taste. I'll say it that way. And to not to clear it up, shout out to Sane, bro. He I told him, in the text, I said, man, you may have single-handedly just covered up a grenade when it came to the fan base and our star player that all of us love and support, bro, with John Morant. Because we noticed, we talked about it on the show last week, where social media comments and, how players should take that and everything like that. But you could tell, with the way the thing was going in the season, the minute restriction, probably the rotations, losing games that they know they should have won. Deep down, they were up by 20 and just kind of slipped away. Stuff maybe, was starting to weigh on them. And when you try to word a question to, I don't want to say set a player up, because, maybe Ja could have answered or said something differently that could have been written. They can only write what you say, right? But if you don't give full context to a conversation, it can get out of hand real quick, bro. And that's kind of what happened this past week with Ja's comments about, people calling them soft and things like that. Shout out to Sane for releasing the full audio and kind of just basically, like I said, covering that up and not letting it be a bigger story than it needed to be. Because Ja know, I know that Ja know that the city of Memphis and the Grizzlies fan base rock with him. Like fans, I think the root word is of fanatic is fan. And so you have to understand that sometimes the highs are highs. We're gonna be delusional. We're gonna think that we're gonna think whatever, because we're in a high, and then when we're in the low, we're gonna probably say some stuff that we don't mean, or we're gonna feel some things that we maybe really don't feel because of especially the PTSD and the down season we had, or just the misfortune I say we've had over the last year and a half with our team. But make no mistake, and I tweeted this out immediately when I saw this quote. Shane didn't have to clear it up, or he didn't have to release the audio for me to go ahead and say what I had to say. It is no Ja versus the fans. It ain't no fans versus Ja. Y'all can kill that narrative now if anybody's trying to start that up, because that ain't it. And it ain't going to ever be it, to be honest. Ja will have to come out and literally say F the city of Memphis, which I don't ever see that happening for us to even, start to go that way. We ain't trying to have no, another Chandler Parsons situation at all. No. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. So we ain't even finna start that. And we definitely don't need the national media picking it up and trying to take it that route. So, I just want to touch on that, man. Let's treat our own with more care, y'all. And I ain't saying, like I said, I'm not saying what happened was malicious. But if we do see something look a little funny in the light, let's just do what we can to try to maybe clear some stuff up. If that's the case, if it's no intent behind it, let's just make sure we do better with that. But we're going to end on this last one, man. We got some injury updates. Maybe not the best, but it ain't the worst. That's for damn sure. We did get some updates on Vince Williams, Desmond Bane, Marcus Smart, Cam Spencer. Not so much Luke Kennard, but they did say that he's on his way back. Maybe I would say the next couple games. From that injury report, Evan, just what were some of the things that you liked? I ain't gonna say what you like, but how did you feel about the report as overall? Did you think it was kind of the typical lately the Grizz PR stuff that we come to hate, or was it kind of fair? Like you all right, cool, I can kind of sit back and chill on this.
Nothing really, just like get out my red alarms. Like everything seemed. Honestly, I thought Marcus Smart and DB, and I keep saying DB as in like Desmond Bane. I need to stop doing that, because when I say DB, people think I'm talking about Dylan Brooks. Because when I'm watching the game, I text DB or brothers like, why are you talking about Dylan Brooks? No, I'm talking about Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane and Marcus Smart are out for way less time than I thought. So I was way happy about that, because when they both got out, I was like, dang it, they're going to be out for like 4-5 weeks. But week to week, hopefully that means, normally that means around 2 to 3 weeks. Depends on how the progressive rehab goes. I'm happy to hear that. This Williams Jr., I was happy to see that 2 to 4 weeks. So hopefully by maybe the beginning of December, that's probably the latest we'll get him back. So that'll be good. Probably at the end of the in-season tournament play, we'll probably get him back. So I was happy to see that. Cam Spencer, I just really want to see Cam Spencer play. Like, that's when I really thought he'll be reevaluated in 3 weeks, but reevaluated doesn't mean that he's going to be playing. That means he's going to start rehab or ramping up, as we would say. So I was kind of disappointed about that. And then, which wasn't in the report, but Gigi Jackson reported himself, he'll be back by the end of January. So, of course, he said his rehab been going well. He said he's been progressing and healing fast, but of course you want to rush him back. We don't need Gigi Jackson for January. We need him for May and June, July. So I was happy about most things I heard. I wasn't happy about something with some of the players, but overall it wasn't a terrible Grizzly PR post as a lot of people were expecting. So I'm glad to hear that everybody's progressing well. Hopefully it means that they're actually coming back in time, because sometimes we hear a guy day-to-day for the past 2 weeks. We've seen that before, where guys been day-to-day for the past 2-3 weeks and still hasn't played yet. So hopefully that doesn't, knock on wood, that doesn't happen. So hopefully everybody get back healthy. We can finally see this Grizzlies team full healthy and take over the West as we should be. So what was your thoughts on when you saw the post?
Man, like, I'm going to start with Gigi because, like you said, he wasn't on the post. I just hate hearing January, but I want my guy to be healthy. I want him to be good. I'm just ready to see him with the guys, bro. I just am. Yeah. I'm ready to see him with all the guys. And Lord willing, knock on wood, let's have a prayer circle that once this group that we're talking about now comes back, that's primarily, done with the major, the time frame of injuries. Maybe you miss a game or two, for rest or whatever the case may be, you nursing a whatever. But hopefully that's it. But that was a little sour, and especially, him being next to Chandler Parsons tried to throw some more salt on Memphis. And I was like, bro, this man is just he a female dog, bro.
I ain't see what he said.
He tried to get something started because he asked Gigi about one of the medical staff. He's like, is so-and-so still there? And Gigi confirmed that they were, but I think it was Lou. No, actually, it was Michelle Beadle. Is that her name? I think she actually stepped in and kind of stepped over that question and asked him something else. So he tried to kind of set up some dirty Mac, and I felt like, and thankfully, Michelle and Gigi kind of sidestepped it. Vince, I'm glad that you see that we got a date on him because I know, like you said, the reevaluation don't mean he coming back, him or anybody else. But we got a hard date. Pause. Hopefully by Thanksgiving, that'll be a good Thanksgiving gift to see Vince back on the court. And that's really it, bro. Cam, the good thing about Cam, him being on the two-way, we probably not going to see him at all this year. We shouldn't see him. I said that about Jalen, but Jalen's on a real contract, and we're going to talk about him in a minute. But Jalen's playing, starting, doing great. I don't think we see any of Cam. Hopefully we don't see no Cam. I say that. Hopefully we don't. Hopefully. Yeah. And that's not a knock on Cam because I love Cam. But unless some type of crazy trade goes down at the deadline and we got to fill some roster spots, we shouldn't be seeing Cam this year. Yeah. I'm cool.
I just thought about it. This is completely unrelated, but we didn't talk about how reports came out how they're not picking up Jake Lary's option in this summer. I thought that was pretty interesting to hear that.
Hey, talk about it real quick. Go ahead. We almost 30 minutes. Go ahead. Bring it up real quick.
I don't know. I believe it was Drew Hill that reported it. I may be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was Drew Hill that reported that Jake Larry was on the team option for this coming offseason, but the team came out and said they are not picking up his option, but they are interested in still bringing him back on a deal because they're interested in his development, per Drew Hill. Because I texted people when I saw the music group about it. I was like, I don't want to react to it because the team option means one thing, but they can still probably bring it back on the team friendly deal. It depends on which camp you are in, whether you want Jake Rafe on this team or not. I feel like where me and Chris are, but we're not gonna. We don't want to be the captain of Jake Rafe hate club, so we're gonna stay unbiased. Because if Jake Rafe is playing well, we love him, but if he's not playing well, we don't love him. Simple as that. I thought it was interesting that they formally said that from the jump they're not gonna pick up his option. That could be because that could be two things. Either he has been playing the well that the front office wants him, they already know they're not gonna bring him back, or he's been playing so well that they want to keep him just on a more team-friendly deal. So we won't know until the season's over, but I feel like there's one thing to keep in how. What's the third one?
Third option is he's expiring. They could be used at the deadline. Because you pick that option up, it kind of kills that spice of it. But I'm with you, bro. Here's my thing. If Jake LaRave is your 15th man and we going full roster, or let's say we just going to always keep a spot open and he's your 14th man, I don't care, bro. Like, he's a good man. He's a good 13, 14, or 15 man, depending on how your roster looks. I'm cool with that. But I had the conversation with some couple people in the Bluff City Media Discord. If his option for next year was $5 million, no, you don't pick that up. You don't pick that up because you don't pay a guy that's at the end of your roster $5 million. No team in the league does that. They fill out their roster with, that's crazy. Like, you fill out the roster with minimum contract guys. You don't pay an end of roster guy $5 million. So if they do bring him back, it's probably gonna look something like half of that, maybe at 3-4 years if they do it. But like I said, I don't see the point of that, especially when you're going back. I think next year you bring it back 12 guys already. That's before you re-sign Santi, which would make that 13. That's a Luke expiring potentially, which would be 14 just for that spot. And then you got a draft. I think you got 2 draft picks on par right now.
Yep.
Nah, bro. Like that ain't even smart roster construction. To pay him $5 million as the end of bench guy when I can go get a rookie and pay him, what we paying guys now. So we'll see. Jake Hive, feel how y'all feel. I want the dude to do well. Him playing sorry doesn't help my team at all. But his value is up right now. I can say that. The numbers, if you're looking at stats and analytics and all of that, that kind of stuff looks good. And so if a team want to add him to a deal for us to upgrade our squad, guess what? It's a win-win,
cool.
Bro. Win-win. So, yeah. Shout out to Jake, bro. I know everybody give you shit on Twitter, but for real, go get your bag, bro. I don't know if it's gonna be in Memphis, but get your bag. I ain't mad at you either way.
Yeah, get your money, bro.
Yeah, man. But we're gonna run a commercial real quick. We'll come back and talk about this week and Grizzlies basketball terms, and then we're gonna get out of here. So we'll be right back on the No Bluffin podcast.
I think Zach Edey played well. He got his fouls in. He got them in for sure. But we saw some flashes of really what he can do. Whether that's setting screens or just whether blocking shots or just making guys change their mind about shots or just affecting the quality of shots that guys were getting in the game. We saw that a lot. They gotta use him though, man. They gotta be able to find him a little bit.
I was about to say they especially the whole first quarter. It was like because I think that lob that y'all had him, that was his first points of the game. So it was like the whole first quarter. I did peep that. It was like I see everybody else attempting 5+ shots.
Right.
Y'all got to find a way to give Zach Edey something like at some point. Everything was running well last night, right? The offense was flowing well. It's gonna come a stretch of time where they're gonna be stagnant, and at that time, that's when I expect them. Okay, hey, let's run the post play to Zach Edey.
Tune in to the Anthony Sane Show Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
This is a question I don't know if you've ever been asked. Was there anyone you ever wanted to dunk on?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm glad you haven't getting a big kick out of that one. I'm glad you've been waiting all day for that. Just waiting all day to get that little jokey joke in. Oh, you got a joke. Yeah. But I always wanted to dunk in the game. That's what I wanted to do. And it didn't have to be on anybody. I wanted it to be off of a missed shot, like on an offensive rebound, so that everyone's around or in the vicinity when it happened.
Did you ever dunk in practice and get overly excited?
Yes. and everybody be like, well, are you going to do it in a game? And I'm like, no.
Tune in to the Night Court podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the No Bluffin podcast, where we keep it all the way real, all the way raw, and all the way honest about everything Grizzlies. I am Chris Ingram. To my right is my right-hand man, Evan Hayes. Evan, we got a lot to jump into about the Grizzlies week in review, man. Didn't go the way that we wanted it to go. I said 4-0. You said 3-1, and we ended up what, 2-2?
2-2. Yep. We lost the first two, won the last two.
Yeah. Screw that. And I put a tweet out there. Go ahead.
Grizz Twitter. That's the first two losses. The one that got Grizz Twitter all up in the roar, and everybody got mad already. So hey, things happen, you know. But everybody was very mad for the first part of this week, and then people got less mad the second half of the week. So that's a testament of how tumultuous Grizz Twitter can be, because everyone was very angry. From Sunday through Wednesday, I think. Yeah. Sunday through Wednesday.
Sunday through Thursday, goddamn.
Everybody was very angry. And then Friday through Sunday. Friday to Saturday. Okay. We're okay. So, hey, y'all. That's why I can't take 2-2 serious, because everybody be mad on there anyway.
Screw that. Hey, let's start with the bad. I know normally we start with the good and we say the bad afterwards, but let's start with the bad. I'm gonna go first. You know what? I'm going first.
You got it.
To piggyback on what you were saying, I'm not going on no long rant. I'm not going to be ranting on Jenkins on here every week. I'm not. I'm just not. Like my bad of the week, what I didn't like of the week, my negatives of the week, I guess you can say, is primarily what is in my mind justifies. You can say Grizz Twitter, whatever, the fan base. Their disdain with Taylor Jenkins. And it's funny that, like, even people that I know I've personally fought with on Twitter or in these message boards, whatever, about Jenkins over the years, even a lot of them now are starting to come around to a different opinion about it. And to me, my sentiment is simple with him. Don't lose games. Don't be the reason that we lose games. Like, players are going to miss shots. Players are going to turn the ball over. Players are going to do whatever. Like, he has no say-so over that. But if a player is playing bad, if a player looks tired, or you're doing stuff out of the ordinary, or doing stuff that just don't make sense to try some shit out, whatever the case may be, that can lose games. And that's what we don't need you to do. And so, I'm not saying that, he can't make winning plays or he can't make winning calls, but just don't lose a game. And there's a lot of things that I saw last week, really this whole season. I also tweeted out, like, the Grizzlies easily should be 7-0 right now. And people can say that about any team in the NBA. I get it. But we were up by 20 in damn near every game. And it's simple things that could have changed the outcome of those games very simple, very easily, in my opinion. And so that's what I mean by that. And so, yeah, like, we're starting to see, at least up until the last two games, we're on a winning streak right now. Great. Shout out to him. Hope we could continue to build on that. But in those losses, or even in some of those wins, you were seeing a lot of those habits that we were seeing at the beginning of last year when the team went 6-19 before Ja came back. A lot of those games people forget were very close end of the fourth type losses. I remember it was like maybe first three games we played the Denver Nuggets at home. And that game should have been won, and we lost it, And so it's stuff like that I look back to. It's more so the habits you want to build, winning habits in the regular season, so that you can, build up on that in the playoffs. And that is why I think a lot of people now, with the expectations that we have, even with the injuries, but just where we've been and things like that, even the guys saying it themselves, we got high expectations for the Grizzlies this year. And I know they have it on themselves. And so with that being said, that's where I feel like the majority of the uproar came. The social media and back and forth and stuff like that didn't help it. But yeah, that was be my main takeaway, that I just really didn't like. Again, I'm always be I'm not a Taylor Jenkins guy. I'm not. But I need him, if he's gonna be here, to just fix some things. And I said too, if he don't, then we got to find a man that does. So I kind of stopped right there. That's the main gripe that I had. Outside of that, I didn't see too much that I really didn't like on the team. Was it something that you saw outside of that, or even if you want to elaborate on Jenkins that you saw that we need to kind of touch up?
Nah, you pretty much hit everything on Jenkins. I talked about it in my two post game reviews I did. I think I did the one for yesterday's game. I think I did the one against the Nets. Yeah, both of those games I mentioned how Jenkins, his player distribution could have been better. With the last game against the who do we play? My brain is messed up. We played the Bucks. Who do we play yesterday? Philly. Yeah, I say that about Philly, how the minutes look better because he didn't play 11 guys in the first quarter. But like I also said in my video, you have to give him credit, but you have to give him a caveat. He had a lot of guys out, so he had no other choice but to play his only key guys. But against the Nets, he had to play all of these guys. And like you said, you can't lose games. You can't put guys on the floor just because. You have to put them on the floor if they're adding something to the game, or take them out if they're hurting us anyway. And I feel like those first three games, he wasn't playing like that. He was playing just to get guys some run. And that's what the preseason is for. That's what the preseason is for. Can I say
this real quick? I'm sorry. When you say stuff, it just it turns a light bulb off in my head. Isn't it odd? Because what you're saying is, I feel like it's some truth to that about him playing guys to get a rhythm, or playing guys to whatever the case. Ain't it weird that he was giving and forcing Jake 30, 31 minutes a night, but you're not giving that same grace to Zach Edey, which is your number 9 overall pick? Like,
because you were cheating me, because I tweeted, I said Zach Edey's been sitting for a long time.
Yes, bro.
You're number 9 pick. You got him. That's why. Like, I don't want to be. You're the conspiracies in this relationship, so I don't want to take your job. But it's something up with LaRavia and Jenkins that some don't see.
Did it take?
To go out. But yeah, man. Like, I still don't understand. Like, Jake played 26 minutes last game. Still don't get it. Ja Morant last game. Ja Morant and Jaren, to his credit, both played over 30 minutes, but they both played under Jalen Williams and Santi. Granted, Jalen Wilson and Santi been playing well. I'm not saying they shouldn't be playing, but
Right.
I still want John, Jaren Jackson Jr. to be playing the most
minutes
on the team. Again,
right.
Jalen Wilson and Santi has been playing well this whole season. Credit to them. But let's switch that. Why can't John Jaren? Because Gary Parrish, he went on a whole like 10-minute soliloquy on his show. Where he just
shout out Gary.
Shout out GP, man. Because he explained it perfectly. Why can't John Jaren play 5 extra minutes? They're elite athletes, NBA players. What's the difference between 25 and 30 minutes for elite NBA players?
Nothing. If you ever played before, you know that's nothing.
5 minutes. If you played any type of level of sport, not even basketball, sport competition, 5 minutes isn't anything extra. So that was my biggest work. But outside of that, I still think 3-point defense needs to have some work.
Effing defense atrocious. In his words.
Yes. I say about this in my last episode. In 2024, every team is gonna put up 30 to 45 threes a game. That's especially on the low end. Exactly. If you're giving up 15 or 25 threes a game, you're going to lose that game 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Philadelphia made 19 threes last game. The only reason why we won that game is because we killed them with depth. We had 7 guys in double figures last game.
We the game breaker.
Real talk, especially in the third quarter. Everybody had takeover.
Oh God.
Takeover.
Oh my goodness.
Takeover. And Ja had the microwave. He was just throwing microwaves out to everybody because he was just getting everybody going in the third quarter. Right. But that's the point. I can't do the math right now. What's 19 times 3? Anyway, I can't do that math in my head. That's 38 and 38. That's
57.
57. That's 57 points you're giving up from the 3 ball. That is too many points. I'm
God
sorry.
Damn.
That's 57 points you're giving up from the 3-point. And that was on a bad Philadelphia team. Well, not bad, but injured Philadelphia team.
They weren't full. Yeah.
Yeah, without Paul George, without Joel Embiid. Try to do that on the Mavs, bro. Like, come on. With Clay and Luka and Kyrie and PJ Washington, like all these guys that can shoot the ball, that's gonna be our kryptonite. Like we are great in every facet of the game, even when healthy or not healthy, because we're that deep. But our 3-point shooting is gonna be our kryptonite. That's literally our only gaping, because now we can make threes. Now we can make threes. The past few seasons, we haven't been able to go shot for shot with people. We go shot for shot, but we're still giving them more threes than we're giving back. And that's been my 2 biggest detriments, because I would like to see the stat of my 3-point defense. I would love. I can't find. I don't know where I can find this. I need to find that stat somewhere, because we gotta be top 5 worst in the league on 3-point defense. We gotta be.
We always offer the first 3 weeks, 3 months of the season, and that I never understand that.
I don't understand, like, why are we helping? If you got Dennis Schroeder, who's not a great 3, but should be a respectable 3-point shooter, why are you helping 5 feet off of him? Like, just why are we soft closing out? Like, that's like philosophy. Like, that's why I get on Jenkins. That's scheme. That's philosophy. These are basketball players, and I'm glad because I put that topic in there. I'm glad you said that's a good segue again. Like, these are bad. All these guys have been playing basketball for at least 15, 20 years. They know how to close out. They know how to get out and shoot. They should know. That's why I feel like it's scheme, because why else would you be helping that far off of, these guys are NBA players and they can go 15 straight in practice. So you're basically giving these guys practice shots in a regulation NBA game.
Yep.
What do you think is going to happen?
And that's something that they always double down on in training camp. That's what don't make sense to me. Like, we've always heard that he's a big defensive guy. That's what he focuses on. Why is it taking 3 months every season?
I mean, you got athletes on it's different. We had like bad defenders on the team. Most guys in our line are either athletic enough or just good defenders innately to know how to rotate, to know how to be in good power position, know how to close out properly,
right?
Or know how to hedge and help,
right?
That's why I feel like it's scheme, bro. Like,
that's all. That's a fact.
That's what I said. Like, go down our roster. I can only think of that are just like innately like not so great defenders. I can think of 2 guys top of my head. Santi and Jalen Raven. They're just like not so great defenders. I'm trying to think. Who else are just bad defenders? When they want to be, they can be good. Or at least not. If they're bad,
Luke ain't that great.
Like, yeah,
Luke, great.
But he hasn't played this year. That's why he's not on my. He hasn't played this year. Because Ja's athletic enough to be a good defender. Dez a good defender. Marcus Smart's a good defender. Edie, Tripp, Jalen Wells, Marcus Smart. Like, everyone else can play defense. So out of a 15-man roster, you have 3 guys that are not so great defenders. Why are we giving them 18 to 23 threes a game? Don't make sense to me, bro.
I saw Jay Huff.
That's gonna kill us.
Yeah. I saw. Shout out to Chris Vernon. They were breaking down all the threes that we gave up against. I want to say it was the Bulls. It was the Bulls.
They hit like 27 to 25 or something like that.
And bro, about 15, no joke. It had to be at least 10, but I want to say it was closer to 15. At least 10 of those was on Jay Huff, and I'm like, damn, I love what Jay Huff giving up us on the offensive end, but giving up threes, bro. Like, I ain't gonna say all of them were his fault. Some of them maybe was a misrotation on somebody else, and he's just the hand to get out there on them. But it just looks bad. Yeah, it looks bad.
Like he got 2 feet. Okay, I'm not gonna try because I'm a basketball head. No, you should not have 2 feet in the paint. Like, I'm sorry, if you're a big man in the Twins, you should not, unless they're driving to the paint, you should at least have a foot in the paint, a foot out, so you get out and close out. Most are, unless your name is Zach Edey, you should not have 2 feet in the paint. I'm sorry, like, I don't want Zach Edey guarding Tyrese Maxey, obviously, but he's the only guy that should have 2 feet in the paint. But we got guys in the paint with 2 feet, and you got to like, it makes my brain hurt, bro.
Give
like,
up the 2, bro. Y'all got like you got shot blocking bigs on every lineup now. With with Huff out there, which anyway, that's more rotation shit. But Huff should be, when Edey ain't in the game, it immediately should be Huff. Immediately. It shouldn't be BC first out there with or put Huff out there, bro. I'm sorry. Like, let them stay, because if Jaren or Santi or BC is roaming, you still need somebody back there. So let them go get the 2, bro. Or let at least, it's just simple math, bro. If we're giving up threes and they're open threes at that, they're barely contested threes.
Open threes.
It just don't make sense, bro. I really don't. It just don't take 3 months to do that. I'm sorry. I can't wrap my mind around that. So I asked you the question that's on the screen. With everything that we've said, and we're gonna jump into the positives, is it too early to criticize him? Should we be waiting? With him in year 6, is it too early?
No, that's exactly the point. He's in year 6. And you have, yes, exactly the point. You're in year. I don't care about like bringing in new guys. Your core is the same. You've had the same core for the past 6 years, bro. You have a top 10, and when he's on healthy, top 5 player in the world in John Morant. You have a top 3 defender in the world in Jaren Jackson Jr. You have probably the most underrated player in the league, in my opinion, in Desmond Bane. That's your core. You've had that foundation for the better part of your tenure as Memphis Grizzlies head coach. So yeah, there's gonna be a learning curve with some things, but you're a veteran coach at this point.
Right.
You have a veteran team at this point.
Like the 5th oldest in the league right now.
That's what I was
in longevity.
Like, come on, like you know the city, you know the franchise, you know the system, your system that you implemented.
You should.
Like, unless there's a puppet master behind the scenes telling Jenkins what to do. Like,
I think that's partially true too, though.
Somebody, okay, you put your hat on, I guess, so you can talk about that. But yeah, I don't think it's too early at all. Like, you're the head coach, you've been here for long, you have the same foundation. You had a whole training camp with the foundation, because any person that knows about team sports, you need your core. It's hard. Yeah. That's why they say collegiate sports is so hard, because you have a rotation door of guys coming in and out every year. But in the NBA, is that especially now with the NIL turn portal, yada. But in the NBA, if you have a good franchise, you have the same guys every year. So it's a level of expectations and a level of excellency that you should expect on both ends of the floor. Right. And it starts with you. So no, I don't think it's too early at all, bro. Like, not at all. There's certain things that, like you said, it shouldn't take this long to get right. Giving up open 3-pointers is a scheme issue. Yeah. You can't tell me that these guys just don't know how to close out on 3-point shooters. You can't tell me these guys have been playing high level basketball for the whole year. Not for the whole year, for the whole lives. And they can't. That's a logistic coaching scheme issue. Like, anyone that's played basketball on any type of level can see that.
Yeah, it's almost like they're going against their instinct, like you said. Your natural instinct is to go out there and guard, or go out there and get on your man, and just like, I'm glitching. I got to go over here and do what the scheme telling me. And it's like, bro, you know that don't make. I'm sorry. You gonna have to get mad at me, because this ain't making sense. After a while, I got to revert back to what my instinct is, and it's to not let nobody shoot threes on me. Like, I'm sorry.
I'm not helping 10 feet off a guy that shoots 38% for 3-point line. Like these guys have scatter reports. They have all this stuff beforehand before a game. They say, okay, this guy on the right wing shoots 45% from. They have this stuff broken down. If my name is Desmond Bane or Jalen Wills or anyone, I say, okay, I got Lonzo Ball that shoots 43% from the right corner. Right. Let me actually not play 2 feet in. Let me not play 2 passes away. I'm not trying to use a super big basketball terminology. I know everybody not a basketball head like I am, but if I'm 1 pass away, I'm not playing super hip. I'm playing in deny. Like that's simple.
I'm about to say, I damn near just go out there and deny the ball from your ass. I'm sorry. You just ain't gonna touch this mug. That's really what it's gonna come down to.
Like that's basketball, 5th grade, 6th grade basketball 101. These guys that are way better than me and Chris understand that on a way better level. So if we can understand, I know these guys that are getting paid millions of dollars can understand it. So that's why I say it's not them not executing right. It's the coaches telling them not to do it, which just don't make sense to me.
Yeah, I remember it was an AAU game I had, bro, and this dude was getting off. We was out of town, and this point guard was getting off. Like he was getting off, and we were playing a zone because they were doing a lot of drive and kick and all that shit. But it got to a point where I was just like, you know what, like. No, this is done, bro. Like we're not doing this no more. And naturally in me, because again, football was my first sport. I played basketball. Basketball was really just for the love, like just for the fun. Football was my passion. But like, no, bro, I'm finna get physical. I'm finna get up in your chest, and you're probably not finna touch this ball for the rest of the game. And if you do, you're gonna work so effing hard to get it that you're gonna be tired as hell when you get that mug and. What you gonna do then? And it worked, bro. Like I think we came our way back and won that game because this star point guard was just he couldn't touch it. Matter of fact, the game had to stop. No, we wasn't out of town this game. We actually was playing in the city. The game had to stop because the man got mad, got flustered, and got a tech because I was just pissing him off so bad. And that's what I want to see like these guys do at some point. Like I get the reports, I get the game plan. But we in this mug. We on the court. Marcus Smart, Vince, whoever it is, like break protocol and do what we gotta do to win the game. And I know we kind of over on the negatives. My bad.
No, it's not. No, because just last thing we said we're gonna go to the positive. But we've seen it in the game against the next we lost. John Morant said, "F it, give me Cam Thomas," and he said, "I bet." And when we made that run in the end of the second quarter, in the third quarter, who said F it? Let me go. John Morant said, forget the protocol. I'm going to pick up this dude up 94 feet and play this dude. And Cam Thomas had an inefficient night. Same thing with Jalen Wells the night before.
Tyrese Maxey.
Exactly. He said, I'm taking the assignment to shut this guy down. And you see what happens. So we've seen them do it. It's just not a game back for whatever reason. We're not in the Grizzly huddle. We don't know what TJ and the rest of the guys are telling them. Maybe there's a reason why they do it that we don't know. They have all the numbers in the world. But it makes me more mad. Like any coach has said, it can only make a coach mad if you can't do it. That's one thing. But if you show me you can do it and you still don't do it, that's why guys get mad. That's why coaches get mad. That's why anybody should be mad. Right. We've seen these guys lock in defensively, top to bottom. They all on the string together. But we go through these points where we're just not locked in defensively. It's like, bro, what's going on? Like, even if we had a bad defensive team, we are not a bad defensive team. Like. Personnel wise, we're gonna do it. So let's go.
You can't use the offensive new scheme because a lot of people talking about our pace. They talk about this. They're trying to give all the excuses they can. And it's like when our pace wasn't as fast as it is now, we still was terrible on defense. You can't just stop, bro. Just stop it with the excuses. It's bad, and let's fix it. The excuses can go out the window. But like you said, let's jump on the positives, man. 3 key things that you saw from this week that you did like, that you did enjoy. I'm going to pop out the first one. I know this on your list. I ain't even asked you. Jalen Wells, bro. I put a post out just kind of highlighting a conversation that we had with his parents over the summer. And it's just so crazy how to the T that Mr. Fred kind of described how Jalen was going to come in to the season, what he was going to focus on. He talked about in that interview how Jalen, and y'all got to go back and actually watch that last 30 minutes of that episode where they were on, how he talked about how Jalen is just not a shooter. Jalen is not just this. He's not that. certain coaches didn't. He was talking about one of his coaches. I want to say he said it was Sonoma State when he was there, that the coach didn't even know he can shoot threes. Not because he was shooting bad, but because Jalen just he saw the knack that he had for getting to the basket and how it was working. He's like, well, this is fun. Let me, continue to do this. And then when he pulled his bag out, his three ball bag out, they're like, damn, you can shoot? Like what? So this dude, from that interview, and again, this was 3 months ago, and then you start to see this come to fruition actually in real life, in real time, in real games. It's like he's showing so much already as a rookie, and he has other skills that we haven't even seen him unlock yet, just because it's not even required. We don't need him to. But defensively, that guy has been locking down, hitting shots at a high rate. Man, he's making a conversation. And again, I don't want it to sound like we trying to harp on or making this a negative conversation, but he is making it very, very difficult for Taylor Jenkins. When we get the full roster back, it's going to be hard to sit Jalen Williams down, bro. It's going to be hard. I get on Taylor Jenkins' ass about a lot. I don't want to be in his shoes when this roster is healthy, because I don't know how you – I know what I would do, but yeah, that's a hard conversation, man. So what's your thoughts on Jalen Williams?
Well, we need to – Grizz need to come up with a nickname for Jalen Williams, because that boy been hooping, and he's been playing – he's exceeded. And I have to give you props, because when we first drafted him, I didn't watch that much film.
We had to hash that out.
You were ready. You was like, Evan, get your dumb watch some dang film, because this Negro gonna be tough. I was like, I don't know. I wasn't sold on, but clearly I've been wrong. And Chris, you were right. I was gonna shout you out again, because you said he gonna make Luke Kennard expendable, and I'm sorry, Luke Kennard, you better come out shooting the clip off this dang ball.
He better dunk on some folks. He better go clean up spills on the side of the court when they drop their beer. Luke gotta come with a bag, bro. He gonna come with something.
Luke said for a little bit too long. If Luke we on game 8 tomorrow, or it's today when this game comes out, game 8. Yep. Luke by game 10, if he ain't back.
Right, hey, just don't worry about it. Don't worry about
it. Take time.
Yeah,
like,
you good,
bro. Ankle feel you good. But
don't get a new one.
Go ahead. But all this is Jalen Williams been playing his ass off, bro. Like, just it seems like we just have a knack of driving guys in the second round. They're just complete basketball players. Like Jalen Williams doesn't have any holes in his game, just blatant holes in his game right now. And a lot of people were talking about like how, he played a few years in college and yada yada, but he's experienced. He doesn't seem the speed of the game doesn't seem too fast for him. It seems to be he just, no matter who he's playing, he seems to be a feather. Because some guys, especially coming out of college, they can only play with certain guys. They can only play with John Morant. They can only play with Scottie Pippen. Like Jalen Williams can play with Yuki and still be effective on the court. Like
hitting game winners next to Yuki.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's the type of stuff that I like to see more. That when the full roster comes, that's why I like Vince Williams so much. They can play with anybody. Like those type of guys, you know what you're gonna get from them every night, no matter who's on the floor. If we got all guys in the lineup or no guys in the lineup, like they're gonna hoop regardless. So I would love to see that. I feel like him and Dez, I just want to see those two on the court, because those are just guys that just go. Him, Dez, and Vince. Those are the guys I want to see him play with the most. Like when they get back. Because those just all the go-getters, they just dogs on both ends of the floor. They can shoot your lights out, play defense, attack you. They can just do everything. And those are the type of guys that we have a super deep win rotation. Oh my God. You start, but we got Smart, Vince, Gigi, Jalen Williams, Luke Kennard. Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like
that's gonna be ridiculous.
That's somebody not gonna play, bro.
I don't know who in that lineup ain't gonna play, but somebody ain't. Or I don't even want to think about that right now.
I just don't want the politics to get started back up. Play your best 10 guys, whoever it is, whatever they rank.
But that's salary. That's half your rotation, Jake. I mean, Chris, that's half your rotation.
I know it.
I'm talking Jalen. That's half the rotation. You can't play everybody.
No.
I don't know what's gonna happen, because during the playoffs we can only go 9-10 deep in the playoffs regardless. Because that's 5. You got those 5 guys. Josh Jaren, that's 7. Edie, that's 8.
Santi,
J Huff, and Santi. So that means Jalen Raven not playing. That means Who is BC? Dang, I hate for my boy BC because BC ain't. That mean BC ain't playing. That means GD definitely not playing. God dang. Anyway, shout out to the Wills. Yeah, it messes up.
You forgot Scotty.
Oh no, because Scotty got to play. Because Scotty been playing well. All right, so one of them wings got to sit, and
bro,
one of them wings got to sit, bro. Nah, because Scotty been playing well. No, you can't do Scotty.
I know that's the
Scotty,
okay. So
well.
let's revisit a quick conversation that we had before the beginning of the season. Me and you were talking about what our best team would look like at that time, and I think we both was on the same page when we were just saying, especially with this. And correct me if I'm wrong. But with this new offense where it's 5 out, everybody touching the ball, it didn't really matter who played point guard in those lineups because the ball is moving. And so I think me and you both were in the mind frame of Vince or Luke is technically your backup point guard. Whoever is not, obviously they on the wing, GG, Santi, BC, I think. This was before we had Huff.
Yeah.
Scotty wasn't in that. And it's because, I think I can't remember. For a while you on Scotty, but I think you kind of wavered off of him like I did.
Yeah.
And now he averaging a double-double. He's playing defense. So if he is technically your backup point guard, which, I mean, it's showing to be well right now, I mean, damn, bro, you only got 2 wing spots, or 2 wing spots, guard, wing, however you want to look at it. And you got Santi and Huff.
Luke,
so that means
like
Luke, Wells, Vince, and
Smart.
Luke, Wells, Vince, Gigi.
Gigi, Smart. And then Smart.
Well, Smart started. He shouldn't, but he started.
Okay, yes. Okay, yeah.
But I'm just saying, it's 4 people for 2 spots.
Luke, I'm sorry.
Ouch.
And I don't know about the other 3. That's hard to choose another 3. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because we ain't seen what type of – because Gigi not come back to January. That's the whole point. Gigi, it's going to take him a little minute to get into the rhythm of the game. So, unfortunately, our boy may have to not get – I'm just telling you, that's
now we finna fight. We finna fight, bro. We finna fight.
I don't like it.
We finna fight.
I'm just saying what I can see happening. I don't think that should happen, but –
Ain't they one of 4-6-10, bro. No, bro.
You know how they are about when guys get hurt. You know how they – walk guys back in. I'm talking about starting off. I don't want to see that happening, but you know how
forget starting off. I'm talking about what is your 10-man, like your final 10-man. Like, it ain't got to be at the beginning.
GG.
Going into the playoffs.
Oh yeah, GG definitely in there for sure. Then it's gonna be between Vince and Jalen to fight for that spot. Then it's gonna be between Vince and Jalen, and they kind of do the same thing. That's the crazy part about it. Vince is a better defender, and Jalen Wills is a better shooter. That's what it comes down to. Depends on what you need that game.
And he's taller.
Yeah, and he is taller. But I still take Vince defending wise still better, though. I still take Vince as a better defender.
God damn, that's tough, bro. And I'm still in the mind frame, package Smart, package Luke, package BC, package Jake and some picks and just go get you 2 high-level role players. Go get you a start. Go get your real starting small forward and go get you – because I'm kind of iffy, and I know I'm jumping all over the place. I said this about Scotty too. Scotty and J Huff are my 2 that I'm just it's question marks of what the playoffs looks like. We've seen Melton get in the playoffs and not be himself. We've seen Tyus get in the playoffs and not be himself. We've seen guys get into the playoffs and not look like their regular season selves. And I know it happens across the league, but those 2 spots right there is where I'm like, do we go ahead and try to shore those up to make sure we good? Or do we do another wait and see like we've been doing the last 5 years? I'm conflicted on that. And I more so want to be of the mind frame of let's just go for it because we that close and let the chips fall where they may next year as far as GG maybe, competing for that starting role or Wells or however you want to look at that. I don't know, bro. I'm conflicted as hell right now. Shout out to them for making it a conversation. It's a real – it's not a Jake conversation. It's not Jake where we forcing something. But you know something I done had in the last 2 weeks, and I hate to do this because I promise I'm not. I promise I'm not Jake. Jake, I swear to God I'm not. It's your fan. It's your fans, Jake. It's your fans. I've had somebody tell me that Jake has been one of our best players this year. I've had somebody tell me that Jalen Wells is not a better defender than him. It was something else crazy that I've had. Like, That's what I'm saying. Like some conversations don't even need to be had, but that conversation about who is going to be in that wing rotation, that's a real legit conversation, bro. So my bad, dog. I that's this.
No, I see why it's a good problem. We have a very good problem to have. You know, the only reason why, like, I think it's a good problem to have, but I'm a little anxious on it because that run, it reminds me when the Celtics had like Kyrie and Gordon Hayward and Jason Tatum. When everybody said, "Oh, they're too deep. There's no way they can lose." But then they ran into a problem where they couldn't play everybody. They tried to play everybody. It didn't work because they played too many deep guys.
Gotta hamper it down.
I hope that doesn't happen to us because for like 3-4 years before the Celtics won the championship, they had the deepest team in the league. And they never played well in playoffs because Brad Stevens tries to play everybody, and he couldn't play everybody. Yeah. So like on paper, it looks to be a great problem to have, but when I think about it logistically, that could be a serious problem. Depends on what TJ wants to do with it. So, like you said, I'm kind of conflicted on that. That's gonna be in January. Let's say like March. In March, we're gonna have to come back to this and see because Gigi will be back by then. Knocking wood, everybody's healthy.
I think we'll know by February. I think we'll know by trade deadline.
By trade deadline, cause
and I say that because they're going to have to make some kind of move. They're gonna have to, bro.
I'm just trying to give Gigi enough time to be Gigi because coming off a broken foot, you know, he may take a few weeks to really be Gigi again. So that's why I say March because if he bounces back in February, great. You know, more power to him. I'm just trying to give him the 20-year-old dude, 19-year-old. I don't know how old he be in March, but 20-year-old dude some credit, like coming off a broken foot, first major injury of his NBA career, like give him some time. But like you said, they're gonna have to deal with somebody. Because going into the playoffs with that many guys that can play, I don't know about that. Because the playoff, you going 8-9 deep in the playoffs. And you tell me you're gonna have potentially Jalen Williams, Luke Kennard. You're going to be 5 minutes between Jalen Williams, Luke Kennard, and Vince Williams, and Gigi Jackson, who going to play 15 to 20 minutes? I don't know, man. Then if you even want to talk about not starting Smart, if that concept brings back up again in the front office, and that would bring, if he's still on the team, that'll be some issues. So
you going to sit Scotty down for Marcus Smart?
Don't get me started. I'm not trying to have this conversation. It's too late. We're already over an hour. I'm not trying to do this. I'm not doing this. No, I'm not doing
backup point guard conversation. Marcus Smart.
I like both of them.
Scotty.
I like Scotty and Smart. You pulled me between two guys that I like. So I'm not doing that tonight.
Oh man.
I'm not doing it tonight because I like both of them.
Yeah.
I like both of them. They both do things well. Like both of them.
So I'm pretty sure, and we're gonna wrap this up. I said we already 10 minutes over. God damn it! But are we on the same mind frame of J Huff being a plus or being one of the best things that we?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Have seen this week.
My three was I was gonna combine Jalen Woods and J Huff together, like 2 J's together because they've been pleasant surprises. I was gonna say those two. The pace has looked good in spurts. The pace has looked good. The ball movement the offense has looked good in spurts, especially when Ja Morant is being Ja Morant. The offense looked good. Like it does not surprise when we have one of the best players in the league running your offense. It looks good, so that's not a big surprise. And also, we've been dominating the paint. Like over the past few games, I know last game we dominated on the paint 70-34 on the points in the paint, and then I think we out rebounded. I think we're out rebounding teams by like 15 to 10, like on average each game.
Yeah. Even
the games we were losing. So that was gonna be my 3. Yeah, J Huff, the pace, and then the paint. John Morant's getting to the paint. Edie is getting. That's what I want to shout out. Edie is slowly but surely getting better every game. But people really aren't noticing that because his
got to play him more.
Yeah, because minutes not that high and his numbers aren't through the roof. But he had his first double-double last game, and he's slowly but surely getting better. I feel like by the time we get to like March, May, June, July, he's gonna be great. So I feel like our paint, we should be. That's when it used to be we can only score in the paint. We had no shooting. Now we have shooting, but we're still dominating the paint. So that can be a very dangerous recipe when we get to the playoffs. So yeah, Jalen Woods and J Huff, the pace, and the fact we're still dominating the paint. That's one of the things I love. Also because of Tripp, because Tripp has been a matchup nightmare since he came back. People not really talking about that. Tripp been on one. He's really on an all-star type of campaign.
They've been focused, bro.
We could really have 2 all-stars because Ja's averaging double-double right now, and Tripp is averaging like maybe over 20 in the game, I think. He should be over 20 a game right now. So because of all that, our points in the paint, and our rebound have been looking great.
Yeah.
We got to keep it going.
Yeah, I'm going to echo everything you said. Last one I'm going to add to that, man. I have to give flowers and apologies to Santi Aldama.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Shout out Santi. Shout out Slim Spain.
Yeah, I got to give him that. I hated the narrative that he needs to play with Ja. But it's clear that Ja is unlocking something in Santi that we've never seen. Like Santi's movement, his activity. He still has some boneheaded shot selection to me personally.
Not as much though.
But it's not as bad.
Not as much though.
Yeah. So like when you clean that up, if he can clean that up slightly a little bit more, man, that's just another guy that for the majority of the offseason, I was expecting him to be moved at the deadline. I'm of the mind frame now with the way that he's playing and just his fit with Ja. Like that 2-man game that I can't remember what the word is, but just that the synergy that they have without even talking on the court has been great to see. And shout out to Jenkins for, attempting the lineup where you putting Santi at the 3. That's a hella tall lineup. You got 3 7-footers on the floor from 3 to 5. You got shooting. You got rebounding because he's been rebounding like a mug as well.
Yeah.
Santi needs to get with Jerry. Like if Santi can rebound the way that he's rebounding Jerry, you got no excuse. But Santi's been a enigma for me this season, and I know I didn't talk my shit about him. But I tell people all the time, I ain't scared to say I was wrong about anything. I'll come out on the ledge, I give my take, I'll be firm in my take. But when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And Santi, I ain't gonna say I was wrong. I was judging based off my assessment with the data that I had. But what he's showing this year, I mean, he's perfect for this offense. He's perfect for this team. Perfect for the guys that we got. So I'm excited to hopefully see them, extend him further. I just hope it ain't no fluke. Like, keep playing like this, bro. Stay in this mode that you in right now, and you could be a big piece to a championship team in Memphis. So. Yeah, that's really all I got, bro. We ain't got to go too much longer on it. We talked about our negatives. We talked about the positives as well. And we got tonight the Brooklyn Nets. Mm-hmm. Hey, Zaire, you got your shit off in Memphis, bro. And we've been letting guys, for whatever reason, I don't know why, it's been pissing me the F off. The guys that lead the team, we've been letting them get their shit off against us. We're in a new headspace less than a week later, so I want to see Ja and the rest of them dudes go up to Brooklyn and take something tonight. That's what I'm expecting. Sorry, bro. Hey, Ja, hey, go dunk on little brother. I'm sorry, man. Go slam on, bro. I need something crazy.
That's nothing. Ja's not dunked this year. Ja has not dunked the ball this year.
Ja ain't been on the floor as much either.
He also hasn't. He has not been in the floor as much. So maybe I feel like that's a deliberate choice by him to not be in the air that much because that's a long way down. Because he has so much hang time. It's a long way down. That's something to keep on. He's been playing well.
He's been playing well.
That's not a critique at all. Yep. You see, he said how he talked to D-Rose a lot about how to sustain his body, and he been just talking obviously about how he doesn't want to be on the floor as much.
Yep.
You see the proofs in the pudding. But Chris was talking about we had 3 games this week. We're playing the Nets tonight. We have the Lakers coming to town on Wednesday, and then we have the Wizards on Friday. Chris.
3-0.
3-0?
3-0, man. I ain't finna play with you. Hey, I'm gonna be wrong again, maybe, but hey, I'm counting on y'all, man. I'm counting on y'all. Get it? I think we moving in the right direction. I hope we got past the bullshit from last week. And they just go out there and play ball, bro. Don't overthink this. It's not that complex. Just go hoop, bro. Just go hoop.
I wish I want to agree with you. I'm gonna just say be safe and say 2-1. Because the Lakers, us and Lakers, we always play each other hard.
But can you say 1-3? Because they're gonna prove both of us wrong, and then we're gonna be pissed off.
We both gonna be mad with each other. Like, why we both? We gotta look at dumb as hell like here, bro.
No. They ain't gonna do that to us.
I'm gonna say 2-1. I forgot Ty's isn't. I was going to say return Ty, but Ty isn't on the Wizards anymore. So
Nope.
The Wizards are a dumpster fire. The Nets, we hopefully can get some revenge against them. And then the Lakers, I just like anytime me as LeBron fan, even the LeBron player, that's the one time I get to root against LeBron. So it's kind of funny for me because one time I get to root against LeBron. And then hopefully Jan continues the trend of overcoming the Anthony Davis demons because he seemed to overcome his demons last year when they played him. So hopefully he continues that this year. And remember last year when LeBron came to Memphis and Josh said, "Wait till I suit up."
Yeah. You suited now, bro. Let's go.
Put your Superman cape on now. Come on, let's go. So I'm saying 2-1, Chris saying 3-0. And we got a good week of basketball ahead, man. The in-season tournament starts the 15th, so we still got about 2 weeks to there. So that'll be interesting. We'll talk about that when the group stage play starts.
For sure. Well, that's all we got for y'all today, man. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. Appreciate y'all locking in with us on this Monday. We'll be back next week. Evan, I don't know, man. We're gonna try to get you on after hours this week if it ain't too late. If you ain't got no homework or nothing. Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be some good conversation.
Yeah, just let me know which day.
We don't know. We just be popping up, bro.
I gotta tell Lisa I gotta tell like an hour before.
Okay. We'll give you an hour.
I'll be deep in the essay or I'll be sleeping. Say, hey, we take call. We trying to get on.
Yeah.
I'm asleep. Like you gotta give me at least an hour.
Hey, we send you the back signal, man. You gotta just let us know. Hey, you with it or not? But we'll probably go ahead.
Also, Tigers basketball starts tomorrow. So it starts today. They play Missouri today. So we'll be coming with y'all with Tigers talk a little bit too. Not, of course, it's in the Tigers podcast, but we support the Tigers. We're gonna talk a little bit about them.
Bro, I'm so weird with the Tigers, bro. Like, I want them to do well, like so bad. But like until they, and it's the same thing with football, until they show me that it's something that I need to be interested in.
Yeah, that they're serious. Yeah,
I just be like, oh, okay. So like this team, like I've heard people talk about like the expectations with all these guys. To me, it's like Penny went out there and recruited a bunch of all-conference AAC guys. I know he got the guy from Texas. I got to see it, bro. I'm going to have to see it. But I'm going to watch tomorrow, tonight. I'm not going to watch. I'm going to be watching the Grizzlies. I'll catch the highlights.
Yeah, you ain't going to flip back and forth?
Hell no. I'm not that invested yet. I'm not. I'm not. Last year, I got invested with that team. I did, and then they let me down at the end because they was too much. They had too much drama going on. Yeah. But I was invested, with that group. This group, I got to see it, bro. Like, I got to see it. But that does not mean I'm not rooting for them to win. I want to see Memphis basketball back in a positive light, and I need us to make a tournament and actually win a game or two, if not go further. So, shout out to the Tigers. Shout out to the women's Tigers as well.
Yeah, they season starting today too.
I didn't like them doing that scrimmage with South Carolina. I get it.
Yeah.
But no, bro. Good Lord, my baby is screaming. Yeah, man. We're gonna close it off like this. Y'all do something that makes you feel good this week, something that makes you happy, makes you smile. Take care of your people that are around you. Love on the people that you haven't seen. Text somebody, eat you some food that makes you feel good. If the Grizzlies start doing something crazy, put your phone down, cut your TV off, go walk and take a breather, man. It ain't that serious. But yeah, that's all I got, man. From myself, from Evan and the No Bluffin podcast. We'll catch y'all next week. And as always, go Grizz.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the No Bluffing podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of all things Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.